welcome to Whispering Willows. I'm Tanya, and I'm a psychic medium.
I'm Jamie. I'm a psychotherapist.
And today we're going to be talking about holiday self-care.
Yes.
And how to help us get through the holidays so that we're not so stressed out, because it is the most stressful time of the year. Some people say it's the happiest time of the year. I think it's the most stressful, personally.
I think it's happy.
So we'll go over some of the things that kind of like might cause us, to be a little bit more stressed or to not take in consideration ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and I know last time we talked about like boundaries.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of overlap, obviously. And boundaries is a form of self-care.
Yeah.
But,
for sure.
Yeah.
That's a major, self-care.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we have to start, shopping for others. Like, it's not even only, like, just being with the other people and the family members. Now we have to shop for them. And sometimes we're shopping for people that, okay, like, they're really hard to buy for or something. It just, like, stresses you out. It really stresses me out. So, I'm the person that's like, one for you, one for me. Almost like, because it makes me feel better, like, in that moment. But now, like, if you're more worried about, I mean, obviously, it's a financial, situation or whatever. So we're not going to want to go around and buy everything for myself. But, like,
and maybe nothing super extravagant.
Yeah, nothing crazy. But sometimes I will say, well, I want a spa day because this is stressing me out, because a spa day makes me feel less stressed.
Yeah.
It gives me a little bit of something to look forward to. So if I have a spa day or just something to, like, treat myself. I did really good today, so I'm going to go and get that thing that I've been wanting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes you feel better. Also, like, I'm single, and, like, my daughter, like, she buys me gifts and stuff, you know what I mean? But, like, I don't expect any gifts. So for me, I'm always like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm going to get myself for Christmas.
Yeah.
I buy myself a Christmas present.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I like that.
But, I mean, some other things, like, I think that also, like, when we get stressed, like, understanding that exercise helps relieve the stress. Mm-hmm. So I think we have to keep moving, because I think we get out of, I've already told you that I've gotten out of my routine, and I've been more stressed now. And I see it, and I notice it, and I feel like people around me probably notice that I'm, like, a lot more stressed.
Yeah.
And so I think that I need to get back into my routine of this. Like, don't lose your routine in the holiday season, because you need it more than any other time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I think, like, when we have all those extra tasks to do, like, oh, I have to wrap these presents, oh, I have to shop, I have to go to the post office, I have to send out my cards. Like, when you have, like, your to-do list is growing just because it's the holiday season, I think it's helpful for me anyway, and I think a lot of people too, like, set yourself 2 things for the day of that you want to accomplish. Instead of looking at this to-do list with, like, 12 things on it, you're going to be like, that's overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. And you're more likely to, like, avoid it and then just, like, feel super stressed out and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just, like, pick out 2 things, like, okay, today I'm going to go to the post office, and today I'm going to, wrap 5 gifts or whatever. Like, be very specific, and you're more likely to accomplish those things, and then it feels really good to, like, mark them off your to-do list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think, like, breaking down your tasks into smaller steps that feel more digestible and less overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, like, we have time. Like, it's like, it's not like Christmas is tomorrow, but it's very quickly approaching, you know. But, also, like, the other thing that stresses me out is all the food. All the food, because it's
prep.
like, I feel like, we're going to have food around us all the time, and I'm like, sweets are the worst. And there's so many sweets during the holidays, and people are bringing you cookies and cakes and, stuff like that. And then I feel like, oh my God, I can't eat this, but I love sweets, so I must eat all the sweets.
And I think that's an important, like, personal choice to ask yourself before the holiday season really gets here. Like, how much do you want to, like, like, limit yourself, I guess is the word I was looking for.
Right.
Like, like, for me, I do not diet around the holidays. Like, I won't do it because I love, like, I'm a pumpkin spice girl. And, I just love all, like, the fall flavors. And then, like, getting into December, like, the peppermint mocha flavors,
Yeah.
and like I'm not gonna diet around the holidays. Like
Yeah.
come January, yes, I'll get back on track, but
Yeah, I'm like a savory and sweet person, so it's
Yeah.
hard for me because like all the savory foods are during this time of the year, and then like I love cake or pie, pumpkin pie. Oh my gosh, yes. So it's just like limiting yourself and like understanding that like this is going to be over, so it's not like you're going to be eating pumpkin pie every month for the next 12 months
forever,
or something, But at the same time, it's like, come on, you don't need like all of that extra pumpkin pie.
You don't need it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe that's what your goal is. Like, okay, I'm going to eat really well Monday through Friday, and then like I'll let myself enjoy stuff on the weekends. Like whatever works for you, but just kind of, I would say, be intentional about it and kind of set that limit for yourself. Like at the start.
Well, like at Thanksgiving, so like at Thanksgiving, when people make Thanksgiving at their house, they always have so much extra left over. Like send that home with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not that we're trying to stress them out about all the food they're eating, but I'm just saying, like, spread it out, send it home with people. Like, you don't have to keep all of it, to yourself.
Right.
But yeah, I try not to take anything home if I go to someone else's house for a holiday. I'm like, I don't want it, Even though I do want it. Yes, the coconut cream pie, yes, I do. I want that, but no.
I'll take like one of something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that pie was so good. Let me have one slice. Don't give me like half the pie, because...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think, like, just, like, limiting yourself, but allowing yourself to, like, indulge. Like, it's okay. You're not going to be doing it, all into the next year. I mean, you might, but...
I think another important thing to talk about is when you have blended families or... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to call it a broken family, but like a family of divorce.
Yeah, so you have to go to multiple places.
Right. And so, in my family, it used to stress me out because, we have more like extended family on mom's side of the family and then dad's side of the family, not so much.
Yeah.
And so it always feels like mom's family like kind of takes priority and we make plans over here. Yeah. And then it tends to feel like dad is just like an afterthought, which he's not, you know what I mean? But it just has like kind of worked out that way naturally. And my brother and sister-in-law, no offense guys if you're listening, but they're like last minute planners.
Yeah.
And so like trying to make plans like to include dad, it's like it's been stressful for me over the years. And so I think that's something to think about too, is like make plans earlier. If that's gonna ease your mind and like make you stop stressing about it, don't wait for the last minute people to make plans. Like take charge and be like, okay, this is when we're gonna meet with dad and this is when we're gonna meet with mom, and or like do whatever feels like as soon as I do this I can breathe and take a breath and not feel like somebody's gonna be left out or somebody's gonna be upset or whatever, you know?
And put that on your list of 2 things to do for the day. You know what I mean? Like, make plans, but put that to the top of your list. You know what I mean? Because I understand that. I mean, like we've had to go to like multiple places for Thanksgiving and the holidays and stuff. And I know that my mom would always be like really like, oh well, we won't do turkey since you're gonna already have turkey at your in-laws. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have a crab boil. You know what I mean? But we'll do it on Friday. We don't have to do it on Thursday because Thursday's on Thanksgiving. Nice. Yeah. So my mom is like very understanding and understands that, hey, like there's multiple families that they have to go and see. This is not an option. This is something that now you have to live with. Yeah. So I think, when you have someone that's like super understanding in that manner, like that totally helps. And like your dad, I feel like your dad totally understands that too. For sure. Know what I mean? So it's just like, but it is hard because you do feel like, oh, well, I'm not having Thanksgiving with my mom and dad, but my mom is the one that's always like, no, we'll do it on Friday night, Friday afternoon, and we'll just do a crab boil, so that way you're not eating turkey 2 days in a row.
And if you're on the receiving end of that, like your mom or my dad, like, oh, I don't get the kids on Christmas Day, try not to take it personal, because the kids, right? If we're considered the kids, like, you know, you have to go to your in-laws or I have to go to the other family members. Like, nobody's doing it like intentionally to leave you out, and everybody's just kind of trying to juggle the best they can. So don't take it personally and like be upset.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Some other things that I kind of like do is I make a plan for after the holidays. Like either plan a trip or something fun that you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
So like at this point in the holidays, you're just like, I'm just trying to get to this end goal.
Yeah.
Just because like with me, I'm trying to get like through the holidays. I think it just like disrupts me a little bit. I don't know. Like I'm not saying that I don't like the holidays. I do like the holidays. But when it's here, like the day of, it's finally here. I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm good.
Yeah.
And then the day after, it's like this like huge relief of, oh my gosh, thank heavens, like we can take all these things down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, but that's just who I am as a person.
See, and I think a lot of people feel sad the next day because like, they were so looking forward to Christmas and now it's over and like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
So either way,
it would work to have something else to look forward to.
I love that.
Plan a cruise in January or February.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like if you live in a colder climate and you want to like get out and oh my gosh, I have to get away from this. It's too much. Just like plan something, like do something fun for New Year's, like I've got a good New Year's planned, so I'm kind of like excited about that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to get through. And then I always think of New Year's as like a new beginning. You know, so like no matter what, even if my life is going well, I'm always like, here's a new beginning.
Yeah.
That is why New Year's is my very favorite holiday of all the holidays. Yes, I love New Year's.
Okay.
So just knowing that like anything that's a new beginning, and I think this is probably why I'm always like okay with starting over in my life because I enjoy the changes that come with that. Yeah. So with every new year, there's going to be something different, and there's going to be a change. And if there's not, you're not growing, right? In any sort of way. So.
Well, and that's your star sign, right? Always trying to get to the next level.
Yeah, I'm definitely, on a path to like get to the next thing and like learn what I need to learn so that I can be getting to the next, thing. So yeah, it's exciting for me. So that's probably.
I think taking time for yourself is important too, like quiet time. And I think we kind of talked a little bit about this with the boundary setting episode, but, make sure that you're not over planning yourself and like over committing to things and like on this like go schedule, like, find a way to like carve out quiet time for yourself. If that's at nighttime before you go to bed, be really intentional about what, how you're spending that time, like do some journaling or listen to a podcast or, or if it's first thing in the morning, do some yoga before you exit the room and like interact with people. Right. Like find time just to like be with yourself and like recharge and recenter.
Right, for sure. I feel like that is a big one because like I need like my own time and like you said in the boundaries thing, like go for a walk. Yeah. If like you're in a house full of people because it's the holidays and you're all spending the time together, like just go out for a walk before everyone gets up. Go have coffee on the porch or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of step away. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, or you okay? You know what I mean? Like, it's just really like you're having coffee or you're going for a walk. Or
if you have a dog, it's a great excuse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ferdinand needs to go out. I'm going to go for a walk, even if he didn't need to go. Like
Right. Yeah, for sure. And, like, you can just come back, like, 8 hours later, like it's fine, Yeah. Needed a extra long walk. Yeah. So. But I think what it is that we really just want to make sure that we're like getting through the holidays and we're having a good time, like we're enjoying it. Right. Like I feel like it is hard on everyone in some form, in some way, and it is stressful. Everyone, has different stresses around the holidays. Yeah. So I think. Just some of these tips and tricks that we kind of have, I think could help a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
because you don't want to go through the holiday season like just stuck in your head about all the things we have to do.
Right.
You want to be able to enjoy yourself and like appreciate the like spirit of it, you know?
Yeah, like I love, like, you know, like we used to go and like look at lights like the day before Christmas or something like that. You ride around in the car.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
you know?
I love to ride around with my dogs in the car and let them see the lights, and I'll open the windows so they can stick their little heads out and look at all the lights, and they're so fascinated by them. It's so adorable.
Like even with some stuff like that. The other thing is like there's certain things that will actually get me in the mood for the holidays, and then it makes me feel better. Like, okay, like I'm in the holiday spirit. Like, watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, my favorite Christmas movie is Elf. Like, I know it's stupid and silly, but also like I'm not a holiday person, but it's stupid and silly, and it's something that me and my daughter used to watch together all the time. In fact, I think she still watches it like throughout the year, like at night before she goes to bed. It's like some kind of thing with her where she like loves Christmas. And so I think that like that gets me in the mood, listening to Christmas music. Which, by the way, the Elf soundtrack, the holiday music on that is really good. It's like classic music, but it's got like new artists and stuff. So it's actually really good music, because I like the classic, you know, Christmas music and stuff like that. So I mean, like listening to Christmas music.
Watch the old movies, the old like the original
Miracle
Grinch.
The original Grinch. Yeah, the cartoon. Yes. I do love
that.
Yeah, that makes me feel like Charlie Brown, Christmas, you know, stuff like that. Do
Rudolph.
stuff that will get you kind of like in that holiday feeling, and then you won't. I feel like you're not gonna feel as stressed. I think it's like the moments like leading up to it. You know what I mean? So maybe like once a week, like watch a Christmas movie, or you know what I'm saying? Just kind of like get in the spirit.
And also, I think like watch your perfectionism. Right? Like, oh, the food has to be perfect. The cookies have to be perfect. The decor has to be perfect. Like, nothing has to be perfect. Your relatives are not coming over to look at your decor. They're not coming over. I mean, they're coming over to eat your food, but they're not coming over to like judge if your food is perfect.
I might. I'm just kidding.
You know, like don't get so wrapped up in your head that everything has to be just so that you're not able to like enjoy yourself.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Like, it needs to be more, like, light. And just not, like, this is not, like, the picture-perfect world. Like, distance yourself from social media during this time. Because everyone's just putting, like, the good stuff on there. And especially if, like, the holidays are a hard time for a lot of people, not just, like, stressful. It's, like, well, what if this is your first holiday without your mom or your dad or your grandparents, you know? It's just, you know, that stuff is hard. And then when you see, like, social media and everyone's posting all these perfect photos and the aesthetic is amazing, and you're over here just like, oh, I'm so down in the dumps because this is my first, like, this is, that's not their whole life. That's not real life. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, my every single day, like, my Instagram looks really pretty and nice. But that's not my everyday. You know, like, I'm not going to post bad stuff on there. Nobody's going to. You know, like, you just post, like, the highlights.
I get pretty vulnerable on social media sometimes.
I'm just very not. I feel like social media should be very light. But I mean, like, I understand everyone uses it for different outlets. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also a person that doesn't easily let someone into my whole world. You know what I mean? But the majority of people are not going to put, like, vulnerable things on there.
I think I'm a rare species.
You are very rare. I mean, you're also a therapist. So, like, you understand that, like, that probably helps you. You know what I'm saying? Being vulnerable. You know, but...
And I think I do it to, like, help other people feel... like they're not alone too. Like, oh, if Jamie the therapist is feeling this way, maybe my feelings are like normal and valid too.
Right. I totally agree, and I get that. I think I use Instagram as like a tool of, you know, looking at my friends' kids and like seeing what my friends are doing. And I actually, you know, like if they put something bad on there, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? But like, why didn't you reach out to me? You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? But also, it's not all about me. It makes you feel like, you know, it could be, you know, I don't know. It's just social media gives you like a fake sense of reality.
For sure.
Like, it's not real
and also if you are feeling lonely or, you know, missing a loved one, and we're going to talk about, you know, surviving grief around the holidays coming up, but, you know, if you are feeling alone or missing somebody, I think seeing everybody on social media with their families and their loved ones it almost like is like pouring salt in the wound.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why you should really just kind of like, you know, distance yourself, do something else, like read a book, you know, like, I mean, like, it's just really, I understand, like, it's so hard, like, when you're missing someone during the holidays or something, like, what if you, like, just broke up or something like that, and, like, you're single for the holidays, and this is your first, like, single holiday, like, it's not, it doesn't seem fun,
right?
You know what I mean? And, like, I get that, but every holiday is not going to be like that for you, you know what I mean? It's temporary.
Or, like, if you're going through a divorce and, like, or, like, you know, it's your first Christmas divorced and your kids are with their other parent, you know, it's like your first holiday without your kids, like, I'm sure that can be really, really challenging.
And there's a lot of people out there that are going through the same thing that you're going through. I think that it's really important that we surround ourselves with people that could be in the same, like, like, could understand what you're going through.
Join a support group.
Yeah, definitely join a support group. Like, I completely understand. Like, I've been, like, single on the holidays, and my kids had to go over to my ex's for the holidays, like, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just here all by myself, and, like, you know, and I've gotten down on myself about it, but you know, at this point, you know, I enjoy it, you know, so it's just like, I have a group of friends, if I want to hang out with them, like, find support for sure, like you said, like, get your group of friends together, like, kind of, like, you can be vulnerable with your friends and let them know, I'm feeling this way and I don't know what to do, and I know, like, my friends that it's a group would be like, well, come over to my Christmas or come over to my Thanksgiving. When my first Thanksgiving in Ohio, when I was single, my friends invited me to their family Thanksgiving, and I just remember, and they were Italian, so, like, we had, like, pasta and all this stuff that I wasn't used to having at Thanksgiving, and so I was just, like, so grateful that they invited me, like, I didn't have to be by myself, you know, so it was an amazing feeling to have them with me, and they weren't like, oh, poor Tanya, they were just like, just come over, like, it'll be cool, like, they just accepted me as, like, I was part of them, you know.
And I think that's important, like, be open to new traditions.
Yes.
Or, like, modifying your expectation of what the holidays are supposed to look like.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to, like, what we talked about with, like, accepting change and, like, life transitions. You know, things are going to change, and that doesn't have to be a negative thing. And so just kind of, like, kind of reevaluate, like, okay, things, like, circumstances are different this year, so how can I still make things happy and cheerful?
And I think that, like, this is you growing as a person and learning, like, how to handle difficult situations. Because also the other thing is, like, not everyone goes through any stuff like that. You know what I mean? So not everyone understands, like, what you're going through. But if you do have friends that you're like, oh, well, this person is, like, they've been divorced before, so, and they have kids, so they'll understand, like, what it's like to not have your kids with you, you know, on Christmas Eve or something like that, you know what I know? I know they have, like, weird, like, you know, things with, like, custody and stuff like that, just depending. I know that Alyssa would always stay with me on Christmas Eve night, and then by noon on Christmas Day, she was off, you know, with her dad's parents. So, it was just like, but I kind of turned it into, okay, this is my relief. You know, like, I spent Christmas Eve, I got to do the Santa stuff, and then Christmas morning, we got up, we did all the gifts and stuff, and then by noon, like, which was perfect for me, because I'm, like, ready to, like, take all this stuff down. So by the time she came back home, like, all the holiday stuff was taken down. I mean, she would come back, like, a couple days later, because she would stay with him for a few days. But it was just, like, now we're, like, back to normal. Like, I kind of, like, transformed it into, like, my time. It was my time. So I was like, okay, so now she's gone, I can just kind of relax and, like, chill out. And everyone knew that they had to be at my house because Alyssa was, like, the first granddaughter. You know what I mean? So everyone would come to our house, you know, Christmas morning to see what Santa brought. And then by noon, we were basically done. They would come pick Alyssa up. And then my mom and dad would, like, my mom would, like, help me clean up or whatever, and then they'd be on their way, and then the rest of my day was for me, you know? So it was, like, really actually turned out to be nice for me. So I just know that, like, sometimes alone time is good. Like, you really should learn to, like, be with yourself. Like, 100%. Be comfortable with being by yourself and being alone. It's okay. You need to love yourself. Even on a holiday. Yeah. It's all about self-care, and, like, you have to love yourself to take care of yourself.
And we have to remember that we're not responsible for anybody else's feelings or emotions. Right? As long as we're acting in a kind, compassionate manner and respectfully, we're not responsible for how other people take that or how other people feel, right? So, like, I think a lot of times children of divorce, like, you know, just as an example, maybe Alyssa felt like, oh, okay, now I'm going to my dad's parents' house and, oh, poor mommy is at home by herself. Like, you know, I think a lot of times kids could feel like bad leaving the other parent or, you know, like me, like I feel bad because like dad, you know, seems like an afterthought even though he's not. And so, you know, I even have to remind myself like I'm not responsible for dad's feelings. Right. You know, like I can do what I can do to make sure everybody is, you know, feeling my love. But other than that, how other people take it, like we can't hold ourselves responsible for that.
Right. Like he has to kind of like figure it out. Like what will make, I mean, just spending any amount of time with you, I'm sure is like, he's like good with, you know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. I mean, if Alyssa was going to be like, oh, mommy, I don't want to be here, I'll be like, it's fine. Yeah. Just go. Have fun. Yeah. Enjoy yourself, please.
Yeah. But I think it's easy to feel like you're letting somebody down around the holidays, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you don't want anyone to, like, be left out or be on their own or anything like that. Like,
okay. So, you know, I think, like, overall, just be really kind and gentle with yourself and be intentional about how you spend your time, how you spend your money. Also, like, don't be afraid of, like, buying a store-bought pie or, you know what I mean? Like, because it's always like, oh, we have this party to go to and I have to bring a dish. Like, what am I going to bring? And then that's stressful. Like, you know, go buy some cookies from Humble Cookie. Like don't feel like you have to bake or like cook. Me. Remember? No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely not Martha Stewart. Like, think about not what's going to be most impressive, but what's going to make my life less stressful.
Exactly. Yeah, and that I think that is what everyone needs to do. Like, is it going to be stressful? Is this going to stress me out? Well, then I choose no. Yeah. I choose peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so I think that, you know, I think everyone should be able to have a good holiday. And I just think that, you know, just be, like, give yourself grace. Like, you don't need to, like, be everything that everyone expects from you. You know?
Choose you and choose peace.
Exactly. Yeah. So next week we're gonna have a holiday trivia. We're gonna play a game. It's our 20th episode. Like, I feel like this is kind of a big deal for us because just we started this so quickly and so fast, and I think that we're like learning from everything that we do with this. So we're just gonna have some fun next week and do some holiday trivia and wear our Christmas PJs. Yay! So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Thanks.
Bye.